na-apụta tupu nyere ndị Israel nke na land aba na siri gị ekpochiri etu a ka o si n'ụmụ Igbo Biafra anyị ga-ana n'ụwa jekpochiri onye eli ndị Yoruba duduwa baga anazie n'ụwa jekpochiri onye eli ndị Hausa arịwa baga anazie n'ụwa jekpochiri adọpụ onye Naijiria bụ ife na-eme Naijiria bụ omume ebe ọ bụ na okporo ozi anyị n'ụwa onye ọbụla ga-anabazi nkụ dị na mba n'elu ụwa ya na-eyeli mba nri ife anyị nwere ide n'ụwa ya ka anyị ga-eji weti ebube Naijiria nọzi n'akụkụ tata maka na ba chọrọ idozi anyị Biafra Naijiria nọ n'akụkụ tata maka ba chọrọ ịkwado ụmụ Biafra Ariana na-alụ aka ukwu mana a rapụrụ ka wee jebe na China Biafra bụ anya ike ọ na-awa nkụ gara aga Adaesi Igbo bụ nkọ Achukwu nyere anyị ya n'aka kedu ndị na-esi ngọ Biafra bụ anya ike Biafra bụ anya ike ọ na-awa nkụ siri ike ọnwago nkụ ndị Naijiria Biafra bụ anya ike nwanne ya pịata ọ na-awa nkụ siri ike Adaesi Igbo bụ nkọ Biafra bụ anya ike ụmụ Biafra na anyị ga-ana ọ na-awa nkụ siri ike obi etikwana ụlọ eti Biafra bụ anya ike maka ife enwebe isi enwebe ilo ọ na-awa nkụ siri ike mana anyị ga-ana nna Biafra bụ anya ike ike agwụgo ndị nsabo ọ na-awa nkụ siri ike ndị nsabo chakwanụ n'ụzọ Biafra bụ anya ike maka Biafra na-abịa ọ na-awa nkụ siri ike iluzie na Nsụka na UNN anyị nwere chemistry lab ebe anyị nọrọ ngwa ọgụ anyị jụrụzie ya Naijiria lapụrụ ya oleta maka na ọ dị na Libya na nnaba na-ejezi China na America egote ngwa kedu ndị na-agbazi lọs America na China imego ngwa ọgụ fa ụmụ fa nọzi n'ọnụ mana ndị nke yi nọzi nkizi onye yara ikpenye nnachi ya ekwuru ude n'ụwa ọ banyezie nọ n'afọ ibu unu we shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible onset we'll pass. When we hoist the wind of battle to yield, we shall remember this who died in mass, and show trumpets peal the glorious song of victory. We score might and wrong. Oh God, protect us from dying in pitfall. Guide all our movements, lest we go astray. Give us the strength to heed the humanist call, to live and not to count the cost each day. Bless those who rule to set with prison's lace, to make this kind our land of righteous praise. All hail.
Great people of Biafra, wherever you are, I welcome you to this broadcast today, being the 14th of August, the month of our Lord Elohim. Wherever you are, from me, from here, it is good morning. I welcome you once again, depending your time zone, depending where you reside. I say to you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to so many of us. I encourage you to welcome others as you have been welcomed by me on this broadcast this hour. This very broadcast is going to be very brief, and I'm not going to take much time on this broadcast today. And I'm going to allow a few call, like 3 to 4 persons, with just to air your opinion and understanding on the issue at hand concerning the struggle of Biafra. But before that will happen, I will give go-ahead order to call when I am through by explaining some certain issues. Then you'll be welcome to call on this basis. Great Biafrans around the world, we are going to go straight to this point and to let our people to understand the reason and why IPOB and the head of directorate always act based on the wide opinion of our people. One thing that people should understand concerning the struggle of Biafra is that we live by example. What do I mean by living by example? We are to teach others how people must, opinion of the people and the choice of the people must be put first. And we must not allow the mistake of the, or mentality of the politicians under the state of Nigeria, we must not carry any of their, what I mean by any of their mentality into a Biafra state. Our people must understand this very, very, very important. We must not in any way allow any form of Nigeria mentality state to come into Biafra. In Biafra state, I say is completely forbidden. If there is any, even 1% of Nigeria mentality of governance to come into Biafra, is completely abomination. And we must tread with care, and we must also, like I said, live by example, by putting our ears down, by listening to the opinion of our people. I have seen so many arguments on internet. I've seen many misunderstandings on media concerning the suspension of our ghost town order by the head of directorate. That's DOS. And I must tell you on this broadcast that the decision made by the head of directorate, Mazi Chika Edeziem, is the massive opinion of the people. And the choice of the people must stand, because this is what Biafra is made to be. Like I do tell people sometimes that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made any of his decision, he don't just make decision because he wanted to make decision. Every single decision that have been made so far by our able leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is been of the decision of the people of Biafra, not his own decision. Like ESN, before the formation of ESN, it was the wide opinion of the Biafran people, both home and abroad. When the lives of our people were in a grave danger, when the Maeti Allah terrorist organization were, maybe Masem have manipulated our sitting governors and the lawmakers from Biafra land. And at that point, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the other hierarchies of IPOB and the World Igbo Congress, they come up and suggestion was made how our people can be saved from this danger that have surrounded them. And the opinion to form security outfit was reached, and that opinion was excellent opinion, and the ESM was flagged off for protection of our people. And we also were happy, everyone were so happy to come up with that decision to protect the lives and the property and the farmlands of our people. Like before that formation of ESN, we all noticed that our people were being slaughtered on a daily basis in their farmland. Not only in farmland, several attacks was carried out in different villages like Enugu State, Ebonyi State, Anambra State, and Imo State. Several attacks was carried out by Maeti Allah. Not that Maeti Allah denied any of this attack, because the same Maeti Allah was the group that slaughtered hundreds of people in Benue, and then came on media, on national media, to make it open that they are behind what took place in Benue State. And then give their reasons why such activity was carried out by them, and no arrest was made by federal government of Nigeria. Nobody was held accountable for such massacre in Benue State. And also in Ebonyi State, it happened, and then came out to give their reason why such attack was carried out in that village where people was murdered. And federal government, we could record there was no arrest made on this grievous activity, and no effort was put in place by the state governor of Ebonyi State by enforcing the arrest of those involved in the massacre of our people. And that leads to the formation of ESN by wide opinion of our people. And ESN was flagged off, and today stand, and by the special grace of God, we stand forever. None power can disband ESN. ESN are the team, our first team that stand to defend the lives and the properties of our people in result of the failure of the sitting governors and those that claim to be in charge. And it comes to that way that ESN take over from the security to protect the life of our people. And today our people testify, and they continually to testify the effectiveness and the proactive actions and the measure that ESN have put in place to ensure the safety of our people. Despite having this unwarranted challenge by the sitting governors and the politicians on ground. But the suspension of ghost town order is also a wide opinion and the subjection from our people worldwide. And that stands. The suspension of our sit-at-home order is a welcome development to show and showcase to the world that Biafran people will form the most peaceful and the greater system of governance when Biafra comes. And I want to open the eyes of our people worldwide, wherever you are, listening very carefully. And I will encourage you to share this particular broadcast. What the head of directorate acted by suspending the order when people have aired their own opinion is to showcase to the world and to send a strong message to our politicians on ground that people opinion must be the first priority in every activities. People's opinion must be the first priority before your own private reason will come up. Now, people's opinion has been showcased to show the opening ground for a democratic opinion of the state and we're supposed to be in any country of this world. Now, IPOB by the head of directorates have thrown another what I call a comprehensive idea or a comprehensive character to the so-called governors and our senators and the House of Representative members, both states and federal. And this example that the head of directorate have thrown to them is a very huge challenge. I call it a very huge challenge because it's completely undodgeable action, because in the days to come, we are going to tell them what we want, although we have been telling them what we want, and then continue to showcase what they want. And what people want must stand. If I am a head today in any position or in any district, my own opinion or my own like or my own dream, I will tender. But when people's opinion surpasses mine, you are just an appointed person. You have no choice rather than to abide by the people's opinion. I am teaching this, I am making this lecture for our politicians. And we are saying this thing so that people or the world entirely can put the word or record the word down. We have politicians that comes to air their own private opinion rather than the opinion of the people to be aired. Now, you see, there is this misunderstanding by our political elites, especially worldwide, let's say widely in Nigeria, both from the north, south, and west. This character of our politicians is that nobody taught them well what leadership is all about. You see, by your action, we make people to choose you as their leader or to reject you as their leader. You see, all of you, I mean the senators from Biafra land and the governors from Biafra land, or the contractors of the state or federal, commissioners, or those who are holding other portfolio ministers. Before the existence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you guys have been there, keep on lying to us, lying to people, playing with the destiny of the people. People were maybe out of ignorance, ignore to compare you guys into work or to educate you guys what representatives means. You were, having your way, getting away with all manner of atrocity you have committed in our land. No challenge by the masses. Your ground was very open to commit atrocity. But I believe that ground given to you then, you misuse that particular opportunity and ground. And this ground was open for over 60 years. For over 60 good years, the ground was open. to make yourself a leader of the people, but you fail to make yourself a leader of people. Rather, you try to make yourself a dictator over the people. What I mean by a dictator, you keep on arresting those who will challenge you or who will compel you to do the right thing. You keep on intimidating people who speak and say, no, this is wrong. Rather than to listen, you keep on practicing the system of governance of the Fulanese, of Arab. Because I've been in Arab nation before. The system you learned from Arab is unsustainable in the midst of people who are Republican in nature. And you politicians from the southern Nigeria, which is called Biafra land, should understand the character and the original inborn character of our people. Inborn character of our people is that we are Republican in nature. Our blood and our DNA is forbidden to be, subjected to obey what is wrong. But in Arab, it is their own culture to bind people, to oppress people down, and make them be submissive where they are down. Our people cannot be in any manner be subjected to ridicule. Is unacceptable. It runs in our blood, it runs in our vein, it runs in our bones. Even it appears in our skins as well. We always answer yes, sir, to what is right, but we say no, sir, to what is wrong. The head of directorate did what is needful to be done because the people say so. Not then say so because people suggested so and the people opinion must stand. So those who are with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu photos on their pages, with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu photos and the flag of Biafra on their profiles, who are attacking the DOS, is not with us. They are not with the people of Biafra. Biafrans, be wise. I've seen so many with our leaders' photo with flag of Biafra. Most of them are not even from Biafra territory. These are the things that the politicians from our land taught them. Most of these people you see are gullible ones from a Yoruba nation, from Arwa nation, those who are who have chosen to remain foolish forever. Even some of them are from our territory as well. Because every reasonable person from a Yoruba nation now have rejected Nigeria completely. Except those that devil have possessed their mindset. That's why I say that IPOB live by example. We have been telling the politicians from our land to begin to present a bill in the chamber of Nigeria for a referendum, which most of them have turned to deaf ear concerning that demand from the people. And I believe in the days to come, that demand will be implemented by the Biafran people, and any failure by this so-called self-acclaimed representative will be a disaster to them. Any failure to abide by the opinion of the people of Biafra will be a very disastrous to their persons, because we are trying to tell the world or demonstrate to the world what is called due process. And in every due process, when due process fails, what we stand and what we take effective is rebellion. And that rebellion may not be in the favor of those who have positioned themselves as an oppressor. Because an oppressed people must stand up against their oppressors. That is how the world functions. And that's why every reasonable government always act fast before such action can be carried out by the masses, which there is no government in this world who record that they have defeated the masses. Never. 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 Moment masses get up and stand their ground, every reasonable government have to bow and do exactly what people are demanding from them to do. And by the special grace of Almighty Chukwukikabiam, we are once again calling on all politicians from the southern region of Nigeria, which is the Biafra territory, to begin to put in place plan and the document for referendum for their own people. Because we Biafran worldwide, we want to exit the unfunctioning state of Nigeria by the choice of the majority. We are not forcing anybody to be a Biafran, for goodness sake. Our leader have said this several times on his broadcast. That's why when I look at the people who may be panicking concerning the detention of our leader, as a man who is a little bit enlightening, I've studied the case of our leader, or what are accusing our leader. I discovered that our leader has no single case to answer. And I hope the logo team of IPOB, Barrister Ejiofor, also understand this as well, because he's a very wise, he's a very learned man. For those who said our leader this and that, the case, I don't call it case. He is illegally being detained. Not only being detained, he was kidnapped and reduction to a place where he denounced officially, which is a very heavy crime by Nigerian government. That is a state crime. And state crime attracts so many sanctions. And I hope very soon such will be implemented against the state of Nigeria for committing such reckless crime. And the people of Biafra is once again demanding that every politician from the eastern region of Nigeria, even in a couple of weeks and months, they should begin to put their document down for a demand for referendum. And the referendum must be monitored by international communities of different nations, and the leader of himself will be on ground as the leader who demanded for such practices for his people must be free and must be on ground for that to happen. And I want to use this opportunity again to advise the Funanis once again. Funanis, if I were you, which I will never be you. Funanis, if I were you, I will seize the opportunity of the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to, now that God have made it possible to be very close to you, seize the opportunity and speak with him. Although he is a man of his word, he has made his promise open to the entire global community concerning his stand to help you with the resources that is found in Biafra land. You see, there is gold in the north, and the northern politicians group themselves and conspired to be exporting this gold and sharing the money within themselves. This money is not going to the western Nigeria, the Yoruba land, is not coming to southern Nigeria, the Biafra land, is not going to middle belt. That is to show you how wicked and how brutal these people called the Funanis are. But we are not the same. God have made every race with their own character. We have this character of carrying people along, and it is found also in the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A man who looked and said, I will pipe oil and gas to you for free. And the revealing of that free supply of oil and gas will be revealing every 5 years if Biafra comes. Why is it that we'll be revealing every 5 years? Do you know why? So that the microfew Funanis will not continue their way of life when in the nation of Arewa. We will not allow them to continue the way of their life, because their way of their life in the state of Nigeria have affected common man in the north, have put the life of common man in the north into a heavy risk. They have put the life of that common man in the north, those children out of school, they have impoverished their life, and that is why it will be revisiting every 5 years to give an account by those that will represent the Arewas. Every 5 years they will be invited on and a suitable ground, and the question will be thrown to them. What have you used this oil and gas supply to you for 5 years? What have you built for the people of the north? And they will give account to it. And any traces of corruption which have become their part of life, then I believe that the needful will be carried out immediately for those who have found guilty on diverting what belongs to every other people of the Arewa. You see, the exit of Biafra through referendum will make the life of every other race in that Nigeria to receive the kind of comfort that have never existed in Africa as a whole. There is a working document of Biafra put together by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his team. This working document of Biafra is in the public domain in social media. I have asked, because Biafra activity is voluntary, and I have asked people that as much as you can spend your money to print that particular document and package them in an envelope, submit them to churches, submit them to schools, submit them to marketplaces, submit them to every other organization you know in Nigeria territory. Even give that document to the Funanis as well. Give to the learned, the few half-educated Funanis, because there is no Funani that is fully educated. That is how God conditioned their own brain. They cannot be fully educated like every other race, like Yoruba, like Biafrans, like Middle Belt, never. Give to them. I am not insulting them, but I am using the word as it is. Give to them, let them go through what they call plans to build a suitable nation where everybody will be proud to live and be proud to protect. Give it to them. And also, I want to use this opportunity to ask some uniformed men and women that are serving in the state of Nigeria that come from Yoruba land and Biafra land. I want to ask these men and women in uniform under the state of Nigeria, I want to ask them a very fast and plain question. And that question is this: why have you chosen the way which I call foolishness by wasting your life and not being smart or not being wise enough in terms of your own private decision concerning the state where you were employed or where you are serving as uniformed men and women? The state of Nigeria, this question is for uniformed men and women. Did they give you electricity differently and give the people electricity differently? That is one question. Then, if it is the same electricity system which is not stable that people are using and complaining, if it is the same system that you are using, I think something is wrong with you. Except if there is another system. Maybe in your house, they say to the NEPA officials, this is the house of a police officer. If you take light for all the street, do not take light from here. And that is not possible. It's not possible. That's why I say something is wrong with you. Then, if the hardship that is in Nigeria, that inflation of food items and the other material things, if you are excluded, maybe if you go to market as a police officer, or as army officer, as naval officer, Air Force officer, maybe you go to, or custom officer, you go to market and Gary is being sold to you in different price what is being said to the people, then you are right in trying to defend the nation. But with that, even though you are being sold for different price and people are being sold for different price, I want to ask you, is that a best decision for the government you are serving? The answer is no. Then if you are buying the same price other people are buying, and you vow to defend such hardship, then something is totally wrong with you. Then if the insecurity they are talking about, you also panic when your children goes out or when they go to school or go to other activities, you always panic within yourself. The security of those children, their guarantee of coming home safely. If you are in this shoe of panicking like every other Nigeria, then I believe something is wrong with you. It is time you understand that the stand of IPOB is for everybody, including you who is carrying AK-47. And for those who have found this, who have been addicted to this free money on the road of Biafra, on the territory of Biafra, because I remember when the IG announced the loss they have lost so far in the territory of Biafra, when unknown government begin their activities, when unknown government vow that there must not be any checkpoint in our land, when the unknown government vow totally that no, every checking point must be taken away, even before IPOB could prepare, say, okay, they want to enforce all the uniform men out of our road. Unknown government from nowhere took it upon themselves, up to date. They are still doing it. And that makes an IPOB abandon that particular activity, and we went back, we draw ourselves back from the activity of this unknown government, because we were trying to engage in dialogue to move them. But people behind that particular coalition, that's why I say they are addicted to this free money. And this particular free money is a crime. You see, it's only in Nigeria that crime is being encouraged publicly, not even secretly. Publicly encouraged by the state. That is the most surprising area of the state of Nigeria. Here in the developed world, a police officer who are caught by any means of collecting bribe ends up in jail. Not even killing anybody, just accepting bribe. You will lose all the opportunity of your benefit of service, and you will pay while being sent to jail. But a police IG came out publicly on media to say that they are losing 9 billion point something billion monthly from Biafra Road because of activity. He confirmed it. He said because of activities of unknown government, they are losing 9 point something billion monthly. Now I ask, this 9 point something billion monthly come from which pocket? It come from the pocket of those the same federal government abandoned their territory in every activities of development with the resources that come from the same place. Now, you oppress them, you give them what I call an economic barricade. At the end, you still come out and to extort the little they can hustle within themselves that's supposed to be in their pocket. You come out with AK-47, with even applying what I call a strategy to force somebody to release what you don't have. Let me tell you, that is why they activated the killing on that checking point. No any reasonable man will hear that Mr. John died here for not giving the police officer 500 naira against his will. Even when the man have 1,000 naira to give his family food, and he heard that this is where the life of Mr. John ended, he will say, no, my life will not end like Mr. John life. I rather give this 1,000 out and let my family go to bed without food. And then activated these police officers and the army officers and the custom officers and the naval officers. Even they activated this particular strategy, and to them it seems that it works. And that's why when it seems that they find any figure who want to resist them, they open fire, they kill that one to pass message to other. You don't dare you challenge our activity. That when we ask you, bring. Even when you don't have, borrow and give to them. Then unknown government took it upon themselves, and the IG of police came out. I believe that Holy Ghost entered into his mouth and forced him to utter that shameful statement, so that the world will not have any reason to say, no, IPOB is lying. IPOB said it. Look at the activities of this man on our land. And the IG of police mistakenly confirmed the claim of IPOB. Then, today, immediately, the kidnap of our leader, I noticed that they reinforce themselves and come back to checking point until they thought that maybe, I know why they came back to the road. Maybe they thought that the allegation they have been carried out against IPOB, they thought that the man who they kidnapped is the one that is in charge of that particular mission of unknown government. But unknowing to them that the man himself doesn't even know what is behind unknown government. Unknown government are formed by the victim families of police and the army and the navy. They teamed themselves up and decided to revenge the death of their loved ones who died on checking point, who died on being grabbed on the street against their will into the box and moved to the detention, and most of them died. And the unknown government now come out again and show them, yes, the man you are holding, we have no business with him. But we may love him because he is the man who is standing for everybody. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a leader for everybody, including the governors in Biafra land. It is better, earlier the better, for these governors and the senators to know that they have overhead leader. They are meaning, I call them now, meaning leaders who are supposed to obey the command of the overhead leader. In that, if you're a senator, I want to today to tell you that you have a leader over you. If you're a governor of a state, I want to tell you today you have head that controls you. And that head is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And you don't dare you pass your hand over the head of your leader. It's a crime. And most of you are doing it. Most of you are engaged in this reckless crime. But unknown to you that what you are doing is a crime that can lead to a prison or that can lead you to complete destruction. People who are around you, who are closer to you, are not telling you the truth. And the truth they are not telling you is not helping your destiny and your life. Like I said the other time, I say, if not for any other thing, on your arrogancy and your evil, consider the lives of your children and the life of your wives. It's very, very important. Every man sometime consider the life of his children and retrace his or her step for the sake of his children. There is a decision I'm going to take sometime as a man. When I remember that I have a daughter, when I remember that I have a very big, large family that I am catering for, when I remember my brother's children, my sister's children, my, extended relatives, the children, when I remember them, I retrace myself and say, no, for their sake, let me do this. For their sake, let me drop this. That is how every godly man need to think. But I find out that the road and the steps of this political elite in our land is like there is no wisdom in them. Let me just put it this way. There is no wisdom in them. Because why I say there is no wisdom in them is by their activities. By the activities of these men, you will know that they lack wisdom. They lack wisdom in a sense that if they have ever sit down and think, what is the safety of our children? This wealth we are mounting to ourselves. This wealth we are this public fund we are diverting to our private accounts without development. How will our children live in peace in this community, in this society? They are not with wisdom at all. Because if they are with wisdom, now that their children is somehow caged, every politician children now are caged. Those days in abroad, we used to see them in club. That time when we are still boys, we go to club. Not now again. We used to see them in club. They come, we drink with them, we associate with them. But today, where can you find any politician children, even in London? Go and ask people in London. Ask people in America. Ask people in Canada. Ask people. They are all have gone. They have gone underground. Because of what? The eyes of people have opened. You see, you can fool the people, but not all time. You manage to fool people for over 60 years. Keep them in dark for over 50 years, over 60 years. And in every spell cast on a man, there is always expiring date. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that expiring date of that spell that the politicians cast on the people in Nigeria. He is that medicine that expired that spells. And when your charm expired, what you need to do is to repent, not to try to dip yourself more into another level of charm. A wise man who ignorantly, find himself in that shoes, always, when you find out that your charm has expired, the wisest decision to make as a man is to go for deliverance, not to dip yourself into more mess. I expected our politicians by now, because by now, to understand that their charms, which they caged the people with before, has completely expired. And when it is expired, you repent from your evil. It's like what happened to Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma went somewhere, and many lives was used according to his own belief to prepare him. You see, you can never prepare yourself when God is against you. You can only succeed preparing yourself when God is with you, and not when you even went as long as tampering the precious life that God made. God created all things, but he made a man. Do you know the meaning, the significance of made? Every other thing was created by God by the word of his mouth. But when it comes to human being, God uses his hand to mold human being. And that is where God wasted a lot of energy. So you don't dare you take it and you allow, and you believe that God will be by you. God will never stand by you. Rather, God will be against you, because you have touched the area that you're not supposed to touch. Like what I said the other time, I said, if you're in land of Biafra, if you're a witchcraft doctor in land of Biafra, and you want to prepare any charm against the people of the land, or you want to prepare any charm that will help an individual to walk against the land of Biafra, I pity you. Because remember, all power is in the hands of God. God allowed them all to be in existence. And the glory of God has come down in the land of Biafra to carry out judgment. The only people that can succeed in anything, charm or whatever, in the land of Biafra must be in accordance to the spirit of the land of Biafra. I've seen this, I've dreamed about it, and I know what I am saying with every authority. Those politicians, if you go closer to them, they will tell you what is happening now in Biafra with their witchcraft doctors in Biafra land. And for those of them who think they can go outside and bring in the one from outside, except you did not step into, except your shoe does not touch ground of Biafra. If your two shoe touches the ground, everything will be foolish. God will make all those things you prepare to be completely nonsense, because you are marching on the ground and the soil of Biafra. Something is happening on the soil of Biafra. God's presence is available to carry out the judgment. And for those who uses religion to mask themselves, do you see the shame they are receiving in Biafra land to show you something is happening in Biafra land? Something is happening in Biafra land very soon. people will begin to receive disgrace of their lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask all Biafrans, home and abroad, to desist from arguing whatever decision that is put in place by DOS. Please, people should desist from doing that. DOS, they will always act on the demand of the people, not on their own demand. So what we see on social media, the information of the suspension of the order of the Monday sit at home is the result of the people of the Biafran opinion. And DOS has no other choice not to do exactly what the people want. And people also have demanded for referendum. And this will lead to recall of all the representatives, like senators, House of Rep members, even to the governor. Time will come, we are going to stand up and recall all of them. And there will be no anything called election in Biafra land until we see them begin to present this bill for referendum in Biafra land. That will happen very soon. So they should try to learn to speak the language of the people rather than to speak the language of enemy and their own selfish interest language. Selfish interest language has no ground to have his way in Biafra land. The days of this particular language has expired. We are on new era in Biafra land. For those of politicians, contractors of federal and state government, ministers and commissioners from Biafra land, hear me and hear me very clear. We love you. You are part and parcel of us. You are not our enemy until you make yourself one. And when you make yourself one, then we will treat you as an enemy. We are together and we will love to live with you all together in a very excellent state of Biafra, because Biafra nation is going to be very, very excellent, where every man will have the right to live, where no one will intimidate anybody. We're going to run the nation of Biafra the way it is run in the developed world. The way it is run that made us to jet out of our country to their own, where no one can intimidate you, where the law will always be carried out and exercised on you based on what you believe. We will not accept the ideology of the Fulani and Arab ideology into our state. And I hope these politicians come together and advise themselves. I hope, once again, that then find reason why they should do and carry out what the people is demanding from them. And we are not demanding millions, we are not demanding money. What we are demanding is referendum so that we can develop our place. Our place needs development. We need to develop. We want to see our city look like New York. We want to see our city look like Paris. We want to see our city look like Amsterdam, look like Rome, look like so many places you can find a very lovely development in the world. And that is where we stand. We have the resources to do so. We have the manpower to do so. We have intellectuals. We have men and women of character to do so. They are scattered all over the world, helping other people to develop their place with ideology that God have given to them, because the state of Nigeria have always reject such individual. Like the head of directorate said yesterday, the former Minister of Power, Naji, who is one of the most powerful engineer in the United States of America, who came to Nigeria, who came because of his fatherland to help to put development together, to look into the problem of power supply in Nigeria. And he came and discovered it only for the Funanis to go and engineer all the politicians against the man, to show them that is to tell the world that these people, they never wanted to give the citizens the light. The man was pushed out. They now brought in the person that will stand as an obstacle to electricity. And today, that obstacle has been there. We want this kind of people that have this mindset of development. We want to see them in Biafra. They have them in Yoruba land. Those in Yoruba, they will go back to their place and help their people to develop their place. We have them all over the world. We have them here doing wonderfully to the people of this nation. So the choice is yours. Either to make it peaceful so that you and your children will find a place to live. But your refusal to present this bill for referendum in the name you want to be smart, or you want to outsmart the people. Sorry. You want to outsmart the people. You want to continue with the game, this deadly game of oppressing the people. Believe me, it will lead into war. And when it leads into war, then have it in mind that even though if you die, because of course most of you are going to consume by that war, because you will be the first target even before the enemy. Before the external enemy, the internal enemy will make sure all of them will go down. And when you go down, your children will have no place to live forever. I am not saying time will come when amnesty will be announced for your children to come back home. They will not have any place in Biafra territory to live forever. As most of us will live, we will pass it on to our children. We will tell our children, this family, they must not come home. This family, they must not step into this country. And that order, we will be passing it on from generation to generation, from generation to generation. Then another way to activate that, to make that happen, to people to see the clear picture of what have become on your family, is to demolish all your homes and build government institution on those your private properties and homes. Then the way it is done in Libya, when the late Mohammed Gaddafi took power as a colonel, all the people who punish the Libyans, or they go and read the history, all their houses, all their property were turned into government institution, and their children never come back to Libya again, even up to this moment. Most of their children, those ones that find themselves to escape. So consider your children and work with the people. We are not begging you. We are not begging you to work with the people, but it is your own, for your own good, to work with the people. But if you decided to not work with your own people and decided to work with the people that you will be sharing the resources that belongs to you and I, because you prefer foreigners to share it with you than to your people to share it with you. And we are not, resources that are not meant to share. It is meant to develop the land. By developing the land, people can now go and work and enrich themselves by their hard work. That is my final word today, 14th of August, 2021. I say, my Elohim Chukokikabiyama, who preside over affairs of men on this world, be with you and dwell with you. May God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Eri in Biafra land, be with the man who they kidnap and place in a place against his own will. I say, may God be with him. May all the spirits in Biafra land stand firmly with him. And I repeat once again, none of hair of his head will fall. Is a word. None of his hair of his head will fall. He will come out and he will be in Biafra to monitor the referendum. But if the enemy want to destroy themselves completely, then let the otherwise happen. Then we will tell the world who we are. Thank you. God bless you all for watching.